Alright, after hours and hours of playing with this thing, as you can see, I wrote on this wire, couldn't find where this power died, followed it down through here all the way to the back, and then it goes into another bundle of wire. It seems to be that big a diameter, which comes out of the fuse panel. I gave up on it. This one is a 36 QSP, so it does not have a tag axle. As you can see by here, this is my tag axle. So since this will never have a tag, I just took the hot wire from that, relabeled it now to the shade, and then wrapped it around, put a disconnectable link there just in case. And then a second ago I just used the switch, plugged it back in to make sure it works, and that solved my problem. Long way around to find it, but that's where it is. Now I got to put it all back together.
Right.
That's what I figured out anyway.
Right, it's going to only take us several hours to put this all back together. But hopefully we've kept all our screws and parts in that thing right there. I've already got a headache. Okay, go ahead, Matt. What we're going to do?
Alright, well, we took this off because I thought the motor burned out, but in point of fact we lost power. So we took this, disassembled this probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Started putting it back together, and we wound up having 2 extra screws. So now I'm going to disassemble again to find out where those 2 extra screws go. Or, as Jackie suggested, they may be from some other project that we started working on. So we're going to see what's happening now.
It's a rainy day, so we're going to have to talk loud. But my advice in the future, people, is make sure your dashboard is completely clean of any other projects. Get yourself a bin.
And only do one project at a time.
Try to do one project at a time, and maybe even put a sheet or something all over your dash, because you do have these holes for vent, your vent, and anything can go down there and you'll never see it again. So one project at a time, and yeah, which is not what we typically do. We have 4 things going on at a time. Okay, so your lesson for today, though, is how to take these down.
Alright, so.
And you need, like, at least 2 people.
To help hold things up. So.
Right, so John is going to go over there and help his dad. Well, we'll try to hide you.
So, yeah, just need to hold the light so we can see where things are.
So you've got your night one and your day one, and up under here, there's going to be a screw.
And it's a square bit screw holding this in.
Okay.
And here we go. I got that one. So now, need the helper to hold that in.
And then we'll put that one, or I'll move your bin over closer. That's what that one looks like, a long one. And then over at the other end, taking that one out. Now that's set free. However, your helper's got to hold the other end. And then at this end,
you got wires coming down.
You got wires that are taped together. They're not any type of disconnect. So you got to have this held up.
Go ahead and we can lower that end down.
So that end can just hopefully rest there.
Now hold that end in place, or up in the air, and hold it out so I can get to this. You step out of the way.
Oops, sorry.
So now we're going to try and unscrew this one. And if you want, you can just kind of set that end down on the dash.
was the nightshade that we had undone previously. And why are we undoing the nightshade again? I thought you wanted to undo the other one to see.
I do, but
Okay.
I want to get this one out.
Okay.
So the 2 screws I just took out attach here, and it seems like this is loose. It's not tightening up. So what I'm going to do is hold that, and then we're going to try and do this. And maybe they're not supposed to be silver screws. Maybe they're supposed to be those
Other screws.
big brown ones.
Right.
So taking them off in pairs at the same time can give me an idea of, oh, this is this. And that's that. So that's why I'm just kind of doing it in this fashion. No, they're both silvers.
Okay.
So the only other thing that we removed is this. Unless there's those brown ones on the inside of this one here.
We will find out that the brown ones were just from a different project. It's probably what's what.
Still have the other problem of why this one's so loose.
The washer fell off on this side, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of course, you have a tendency to slip and slide all over the place.
Yeah, neither one of these sides.
Okay, so in here.
And that's exactly what we just had before. And these are the adjustments for the up and down limit.
Okay, I'll get that.
And it's right here.
Alright, just a moment. Okay. Come on, adjust for me thing. Golly, focus, focus. Why won't you focus? Not enough light, probably. Let me see. Thank you for making that big. Now I can't make it small. Gentlemen.
Well, you walked away, so.
Ooh, you're going to get aggressive with me, sir. There it goes. Okay, you can see how dry my hands are anyway. Okay, so that's the adjustment screw. Here you go.
Now that they came out, I probably won't be able to get this to tighten back up again. Maybe that's part of my problem. But
Your arm's feeling like noodles yet, John?
No.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to whack you.
oh, you know what? I think those other 2 screws were used to hold in the aqua hot or power monitor
Up above?
up above where we got into the lights.
That could be.
Or not the lights, but the wires to. Did that end come out?
Yep, both these ones came out and the washers fell off. I don't know from which sides.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
Well, let's go ahead and try and.
You want me to help him on the other side?
Yeah.
Do you know where the washers went? Okay, so.
There's 3 of them there. I don't know if more came out.
Wow, there were 3? I thought there were only 2.
2 on each one.
Okay.
Or maybe only one had one.
Oh, that's right. And they go on,
Here, I just put that down.
okay.
So, we had 2 on one side, and 1 on the, we had 2 on the nightshade, so I'm guessing there's only 1 on the solar shade, or day shade.
Right, unless we find it on the floor later, guys.
So there's that, started there, started this one. line that up so we can get that screw started. They're so tiny.
Does that help?
Turn it that way. Yeah, that's a lot better. Now I can get my...
Okay, I'm going to stop filming because it's mostly hands anyway, and I will help. Okay, after much misfortune and dropping the screw and it went bouncing. Actually, we lost 2 screws and right?
Found them both.
Found them both. Bouncy, bouncy all over the floor. Oh, you need a light, don't you? There's Larry.
So, part of the problem, the other reason why we thought maybe missing the screws was it was loose. It was misaligned with these.
Let's look up here for a second. Just 1 second. So that's the little bitty place you're going to put your screw, and it's hard because then you have this big thing right up in there. Okay, so here we go. You stuff your wire back up in there best you could, I guess?
I tried to.
Tried to, yeah, I see that.
But now I gotta switch hands. And just, now that I have it there, try and just feed it back in.
I think my battery's gonna die, so anyway, screw this back in.
Push the wires up so they're not much hanging down, and then screw it in. Try and catch the same hole that it was in before. Alright, so we finally got it all put back together. Those extra screws were out of this power panel, and we took that off so we could reach our hand all the way back to help feed the wire through, and then we pulled it back up to make that tight when we went ahead and put everything back together. So there was that. Said about tying into that tag axle, which would have been this circuit right here, and of course it's not going to be used to tag, so I powered it. So now these are the 2 switches that I jumpered from the tag over to the solar power, and we take it. And there we have the solar panel and then the nightshade coming down.
And of course you had to totally readjust them because they were off.
Correct, and they were just went online, pulled up the Auto Notion site to do it, and there's 2 different styles, so we were adjusting those screw pins, and I didn't have them adjusted correctly the first time. I stuck them in too far. That's why when I cinched it down it was tight, but because I had the pin in too far, it was pinching the pin, so that's what made me think it was loose, and I didn't screw it back together again. So it wasn't the motor. Both of them weren't working. I should have known it wasn't a motor because it's kind of odd that both motors would go out at the same time. So it was a power issue. And when it got into that wire loom and underneath up by the dash, I just couldn't get to see where it came disconnected. But we got them up and running now.
Yeah, but pretty weird that the wire went out, right?
Yep, exactly. So that's it for this job.